Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hit the like button on the way in. YouTube. What's good, guys? It's your boy TD, and I'm back again. And today's video, guys, today's live is going to be on week 9 waiver wire ads. Week 9 waiver wire ads. So make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. This is cutting edge content. Hit the like button on the way in, guys. Appreciate everybody being here. Big Will in the house. First one in the building. I say Big Will in the house. I say Big Will in the house. Watch your mouth. What's up, bro? Appreciate you being here as always. First one in the building. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, guys. Let's talk about a little bit about some injuries and some news. A couple of things that I think can help us going forward. So the backup quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings for the rest of the year is going to be Matt Brosman. Now listen, don't pick up this guy. That's just letting you know that Carson Wentz is out for the rest of the season. J.J. McCarthy, which is going to be on my list. Depending on your situation, if you want to pick him up, you can. I don't believe in for him to have some breakout games and be like a top 5 quarterback, but I think he can be good enough to help Justin Jefferson be a top 12 wide receiver, right? That's what we're looking for. We're not trying to pick up J.J. McCarthy to be a top 5 quarterback. Malik Neighbors did get his surgery. Surgery was completed. So hopefully he can be healthy for us sometime in the first quadrant of next year, especially if you're in Dynasty. Cam Scatterbo heads to IR, season over. I don't know if he had his surgery yet. Let me see. Did he have his surgery? It says New York placed Scatterbo on the injured reserve Tuesday. Dan Salomon of the Giants official site reports that Scatterbo will see his spot on a 53-man roster to cornerback Jared Converse, who the Giants claimed off waivers from the Browns after dislocating his right ankle in Sunday 38-20 loss to the Eagles. Scatterbo underwent season-ending surgery. So those are a few things that I know we probably needed to talk about, guys. Let's see here. All right, let me see what we got in the chat. We got Deal Devoted. What's up, bruh? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Intelligence says, there you go. What's up, TD? What's up, bruh? Ninja says, should I add P. Ryan or Ollie? I would go. So it depends. If you need somebody this week, the safer guy I would say probably is Pete Ryan with his snap percentage, but I really like Ollie because I believe in Mike McDaniel's system using 2 running backs. Not saying it's going to hurt Devon A-Chain. Not saying Devon A-Chain is getting his position taken, but you want to keep Devon A-Chain so he can have big plays. You don't want to run him down throughout the season. So Ollie Gordon carries should pick up. And I believe Tua plays better when they using both of the running backs. When Ollie is running hard between the tackles, giving something a little bit different than Von A-Chain. So I'm a Ollie Gordon guy, but I don't want to be biased and get you off of P. Ryan when he's getting the snap percentage. Chase Brown he's doing good, but they using P. Ryan to do the little things, blocking. Just P. Ryan is a good veteran, man. He's gonna do everything very well. Chase Brown is a good back, but he doesn't have the knowledge that P. Ryan has. So P. Ryan's going to keep getting the snaps. And when you get out there getting snaps, you're going to get carries, you're going to get opportunities. But I like Ollie Gordon personally, but P. Ryan is probably the safest guy. What's going on, Ice Cold Jones? Ninja Freezing. What's going on, bro? Okay, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Who else we got? He says, thanks, I was leading towards Ollie. And I've been telling y'all to hold on to Ollie for a long time because I believed in Ollie. I believed in this offense, how they was going to be moving forward. Bro, I'm at work. No, I'm at work. Got to catch them all. You know it. I'm at work, bro. I got my hat on. I got my work shirt on that I done had since I was in 8th grade. So I'm at work. But I had some extra tickets that I needed to take care of today. And it was going to be dark to do my video in my car. So I said, listen, let me go ahead and do the live. So I did my research for about 30 minutes, wrote down some names for y'all, and I'm here. That's what it's about here, man. I got to make it happen. Got to catch. That used to be my junk. I want to be the very best that no one ever was. To catch them is my real task. To train them is my cause. Come on now. You didn't think, hey, you didn't know I was a nerd. You thought I'm just a ninja. I'm a ninja. Actually a ninja nerd. What up, Thomas? Okay, guys, so listen, let me go ahead and get through the content. We in the first 5 minutes of the video, guys. If you're just now tuning in, I'm going to go through, unless a super chat comes in, I'm going to read out my waiver wire list for week 9. And I'm not going to go in super detail, but I will explain where I need to. What's going on, TZ? What's going on, bruh? Okay, so the first quarterback, we're going to start with the quarterbacks. The first quarterback that I'm going to talk about is going to be Tyler Shote. Tyler Shote. Now, listen, guys, he's playing against a tough matchup. The Los Angeles Rams is a top 5 defense. Young guys on that defense. This is an up-and-coming team. This team, I don't know how long Matthew Stafford is going to be there, but they can win a Super Bowl in the next 2 or 3 years. But Tyler Shote, guys, would you pick him up? No, only in a super flex league. You're not going to stream him in a single quarterback league. There's too many other quarterbacks out there unless you are in a deep league, right? So that's why I got to mention, guys. I never know. Some people, you come at me because I mention certain people or I don't mention certain people. Listen, guys, we got people in 6-man leagues, 8-man leagues, 10-man leagues, 12-man leagues, 16 leagues, 14 leagues, and 32 team leagues. So I have to kind of hit a little bit of everybody. So if you need Tyler Shote, listen, if a guy is starting, it's no bad play when you have to have somebody in that position. It's just like life, as a man, is if women didn't find me attractive, I'm gonna go where women find me attractive at. That could be a nursing home, and I mean what I'm saying. I'm not saying I've done that, guys, but I'm just being real with you. I want y'all to have this type of attitude when it comes to fantasy. If I'm not getting no love, I can go to the rest home. I can be a 55, 60-year-old woman and be a sugar baby, right? Or I could go to the strip club and be around those type of women. You got to go where you fit in. So if you need Tyler Shote, you play him. Ain't no shame in your game. You are a man, so nobody's gonna. Oh, you started Tyler Shote? That's crazy. Oh, you going with that girl? She used to be a stripper. Who cares? Do what you got to do to win. It's about doing what you need to do to win. So if you need Tyler Shote, you can play him. Let's move on. J.J. McCarthy, I talked about him earlier. He's going against Detroit. To me, Detroit is a good streaming defense this week. But if you need to play J.J. McCarthy, that's fine. Now, well, listen, what J.J. McCarthy does to me is makes me feel good about Justin Jefferson. It makes me feel better about Justin Jefferson because I know JJ, even though he struggled a couple games early, he knows he's been practicing. He knows how Justin Jefferson wants the ball. And we just want to see this offense to be decent. Just give me 14 or 21 points. That way Justin Jefferson can have 10 targets and go for 80 yards with 1 TD. That's all we need from Justin Jefferson. So that's what J.J. McCarthy. I wouldn't be on J.J. McCarthy. To me, do I have a favorite quarterback that's on a bye week? I mean, a favorite quarterback that you can pick up if you got a quarterback on a bye? Not really. I got a couple guys that you can stash, but I'm not going to say, oh, you play this guy, he's going to have a great week. You're probably going to have to go to somebody like Aaron Rodgers and those type of guys in that tier that's already been playing. That's okay. But these guys that just got on the list today, as in for week 9, they're not nothing special. But the guy that I think can be special is a stash guy, and it's Joe Burrow. And he's out right now. But listen, I think he's going to come back eventually. Could it be 1 game? Could it be 2 games? I don't know. I just want to mention in the case y'all are, he does come back. I don't want y'all to be like, well, TD, you didn't say anything about it. And now, man, other people picked him up. So I want to let you know now. Because I know a couple of you have been asking me about that. You know it, B Silver. I don't turn nothing down but my collar. Now, don't get it twisted. I don't like trash, but I will go in where I fit in. But Joe Burrow, so stash him. Shedeur Sanders, that's another stash. End of the season, 4th quadrant, week 15, 16, 17, or 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Somewhere in there, Shedeur should have his opportunity. And I'm going to tell y'all something, and maybe I'm wrong. If they don't let Shedeur get to play at least 3 to 4 games, and let's say Gabriel, he goes 1 for 5 or 6, you see the feds is already on the gambling stuff all over the United States for all sports. They already own it. They would be on them if they sit here and do this collusion against Shedeur Sanders. that's going to be pure collusion. Nobody's ever saw a third round quarterback go 1-6, and you got another guy that played good in college. Everybody knows it, just like a Brock Purdy type. Now Brock Purdy was Mr. Irrelevant, but Shadur should have been a end of the first round at the worst. If they don't play this guy, that it could be an FBI investigation to see if any text message was exchanged to try to blackball Shadur. Just like, we saw what happened with Brian Flores. Was it Brian Flores? Yes. And he's suing the NFL. There's been a couple lawsuits at the NFL, like John Gruden. A couple guys have been getting sued. I mean, a couple teams have been getting sued because of them colluding against certain players and coaches. So I just want to say that about Shadur Sanders. And last is Kenny Pickett. And I've made a video. I snipped the video. That's why I don't snip a lot of videos. I snipped the video. I said it in the live. I put it out there. And y'all ain't really talked about it. And Geno is not playing well. So I want y'all to know Kenny Pickett is not going to be great or something like that. But if he could be starting for the Las Vegas Raiders. So I had to mention him. If you might need a quarterback coming up from this going into the third quadrant. We get ready to go into the third quadrant, so get ready for my rankings. I'm going to do my third quadrant rankings. Go check out my second quadrant rankings. All right, let's go to the running backs. That's our favorite, right? We all know Tyrone Tracy. We all know that he was backing up Cam Scatterbo, and I told a lot of you in the offseason, go look at the videos. If you draft Cam Scatterbo, draft Tyrone Tracy, vice versa. You want to be able to squeeze that backfield. I didn't know Cam would get hurt. I didn't know Tyrone Tracy would lose his job, but I knew whatever happened, I was going to have a starting running back for a team, and that's what Tyrone Tracy. So I have Tyrone Tracy in a lot of dynasty leagues, and I think I got him in a couple of redrafts just sitting down on the bench when I got the bench space. So Tyrone Tracy, listen, guys, don't think this guy is going to be necessarily a league winner. Now, he can help you win a league, but he's not going to go out there and be averaging 20 points. I don't think he's going to do as well as Kamani Vidal. He's not going to do as well as Kamani Vidal. It rhymes. But I think he's a good start. I think he has a nice floor of 10 points that you can put in and trust it and go down with the ship. He might not do nothing that particular week, but he might do better the next week. So that's what type of guy he is. I don't want y'all to be, I got Tyrone Tracy, I'm about to win the league. I don't think it's going to be that type of guy. I actually think Kamani Vidal is going to be doing really well. And listen, guys, I want you to also pay attention to people dropping. Somebody dropped Amari and Hampton. I'm about to spin all my fab because I don't need, I got a really good team. My team is like 6-1, 7-1. So I'm going to get Amari Hampton. And if he comes back, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to have him. I know I don't supposed to have him on my team for his draft capital. So I just want people to know, pay attention to what's going on. When you go and get ready to green bean somebody in the morning or at 3 o'clock in the morning, make sure you look at recent activity on all your apps and see if anybody was dropped that needs to be picked up. That's very big. I picked up Mike Evans a couple of weeks ago off the waivers and off the green bean, but he got hurt. But if he didn't get hurt, that was going to be a killer value for my team where I didn't supposed to have him on my team, the type of team that I had. Okay, moving on is Ollie Gordon, and he's going against Baltimore. Now, I want to tell you, Tyrone Tracy is going against San Francisco. San Francisco is really good against the run. They're not good against the pass, but they're good against the run. But going to Ollie Gordon, the Baltimore has got a good defense. So I'm not saying that Miami is going to compete in this game. Now, if Lamar doesn't play, they will have a chance. Well, Lamar did not practice today. That is very scary, and I'm about to probably lose 2 or 3 leagues if he doesn't play this week. I'm 4-4 in some leagues right there. Got a great team. But I drafted Lamar, and I went down with the ship. I didn't draft no backups. I didn't handcuff him. And he's missing these last 2 weeks is killing my team. So I didn't probably lost 6 or 7 games because I lost about 6 or 7 points because I didn't have no Lamar. I had to go and stream a quarterback. So I need Lamar. Let's pray. Our Father who in heaven. Come on now. I need the prayer. Come on now. Let's let Lamar play. But yeah, Ollie Gordon, guys, I really like him. He's a stash, and you can play him in the flex. That's all it is to it. Don't overlook it. Don't overanalyze it. You know he played good last week. You see Tua played better, so you have to try to take things from when you play a good game and put it into the next week's game script. And so I think Ollie Gordon is going to get at least 10 touches. All right, moving on is Zonovan Knight. We saw that Michael Carter got cut. So Zonovan Knight playing against Dallas, who's giving it up behind the dumpster. They are giving it up behind the dumpster. And you listen, I like Dallas. I used to have a crush on Dallas, but get no more. You going behind the dumpster. You ain't about to kill me in the streets. Everybody saying that I'm with a girl that's going behind the dumpster. And listen, guys, I just want to be real honest with you. A lot of us don't even know. We probably been with a girl that's been behind the dumpster. Being funny, ladies. You know I'm just joking. Do not come in my channel and say, hey, this man is toxic. Y'all know this is a predominantly male channel, so I'm going to make jokes. Not weird, but it was a joke, so I don't want anybody coming at me. But yes, Dallas is giving up behind the dumpster. So Zonovan Knight is a good 1 week rental. Remember, I talked to y'all about rental players. A lot of you, and that's fine. I love that I got people to come back. So y'all trust me to come back and have to re-ask me questions, and that's fine. But I'm always going to be teaching. I'm a teacher. I'm going to teach you how to fish. I'm not going to give you a fish. So if you don't come back, I'm glad. As long as you go out and win, that's what's important to me. So Zonovan Knight is going to be a 1 week rental. After that, guys, they could probably get Trey Benson can come back. A lot of stuff can happen, and you might not have that value that you think you're going to get. So watch how much money you spend on Zonovan Knight. Be careful how much you spend. He's a rental. Remember, when you go get a movie from Blockbuster, this is remember, I'm 86, baby. A lot of you young ones don't know nothing about renting no movies. That used to be very, very fun. On Friday, you would have a family night, and your father or your mom, however your dynamic was, they would, hey, we're going to get pizza. So you could go get a pizza. You get 2 or 3 pizzas for the kids, pizza for the grown-ups. With the kids don't want pineapple on our pizza. And the kids, we're going to get 5 movies. 3 movies for the grown-ups and 2 movies for the kids. You go over there where the cartoon movies at, and the mom, dad, they're going to get movies. And when you rent them, they're like $7 or $8 a piece to rent. If you go buy them, because sometimes Blockbuster or any little mom and pop store would sell the movies, that would be about $40, $30 or $40 to buy that movie, maybe even more. So that's too much, right? No, I just want to rent it. Watch it one time. I'm good. I'll watch it on TV later. That's what Zonovan Knight is. He's a rental. So don't be spending your bag on him unless you got to win. Now listen, if you in win now mode, if you lose another game, you out of it, then you got to spend everything you got every week. Try to make great moves. Try to trade to get a win each week. Now, if you got really good players and your players just haven't been hitting, give space for that too. So I don't want to give too much fruit salad, but I just want y'all to understand when you spending money, who you spending money on. Tajay Spears, that's the guy. I got a star beside his name. That's the guy that's going to be the league winner. You need, now, if you want to spend your fab on him, I'm okay with it. I could be wrong. Like I said, I'm not always right. I had I would say not a bad week, but a down week where my hit rate usually is high for the guys, but a lot of players that I was on last week didn't have good games. It is what it is. I think Lamar had a lot to do with my teams. But anyway, Tajay Spears, guys, I love him. He's going to be catching passes. Tony Pollard is on the trade block. He could be traded to a team that needs a running back. And so Tajay can be out there in garbage time for the whole game, being a league winner in the 3rd and 4th quadrant. Remember, we going into that 3rd and 4th quadrant. I've been telling y'all the whole season about 3rd and 4th quadrants. Who the hell would talk about Tajay Spears in the 1st quadrant? You see what I'm saying? You see why I talk about quadrants? You think I'm just making that up? Tajay Spears wasn't even relevant. I don't give a damn if he didn't have an injury. We wasn't going to start him. But now you want him. That's why I always tell you, be patient. I miss. You missing. What the hell? Did you trip over yesterday? Trip over a chair? Who cares? You still living. That's what we're talking about. So as long as your team got good players, you got to just be patient sometimes. I love being 4-4 or 4-5. I ain't worried about that shit. As long as I got my studs. As long as I got my James Cooks and my Jahmyr Gibbs. So Tajay Spears, guys, pick him up. That's my #1 running back of the week for week 9. And Kareem Hunt. I'm not going to talk about Brashard Smith. I just can't trust it. If you want to pick him up and be patient with it and see what happens, that's fine. They got too many weapons to be worried about Brashard Smith. But Kareem Hunt is that power back. And once Isaiah Pacheco, I saw how he failed, and I saw that knee, I said, uh-oh, he's on IR. It's Kareem Hunt. I had Isaiah Pacheco for any time touchdown to win a nice little penny yesterday. I was pissed. But I understand. That's why I don't draft no Isaiah Pacheco. And I told y'all the whole year, don't draft no Isaiah Pacheco. This dude is like a red-headed stepchild that'll stay in the basement. They won't even give him no food. Bruh, you sitting around balling out, they gonna give it to Kareem Hunt 3 or 4 times? Bruh, they disrespecting you and all that. But it is what it is. I'm just being funny. Pacheco's okay with his role. He's winning rings and he's winning a lot of playoff money. All right, let's move on to my wide receivers, guys. And here's the guy that I got to start beside his name. It's going to be Shamir DK from the Tennessee Titans. They call him, some people say Shamir Dyke. Some people say Shamir DK. His name is pronounced DK, his last name. I love him. You got to go in the trash sometimes. You can find stuff that hasn't been used, took out of the pack. That's what Shamir DK is. Alec Alo Manuel, we was all on him in the offseason and talking about it was going to be him. It's not going to be him. DK is getting the targets. So I like Shamir DK. If you want to spend 15, if you need a wide receiver to start, yeah, you ain't going out to Tez Johnson because he's already picked up and stuff like that. Shamir DK is my number one guy. Go get him. Next, I'm gonna talk about Malik Washington. He finally got a touchdown, but it's a bunch of gadget plays. Malik Washington from the Miami Dolphins. It's a bunch of gadget plays, so it doesn't look conventional, but he's getting a lot of it. So if you need to play somebody, I probably should have, excuse me, I probably should have told y'all to play Malik Washington over Xavier Leggett last week. But I didn't like the gadget plays. Xavier Leggett was running conventional routes. It didn't work out. So Malik Washington, if you need somebody, we got 6 teams on the bye. He's getting a manufactured targets around the line of scrimmage, and he's very athletic and fast. He's not a great route runner yet. Moving on to another wide receiver is going to be Jalen Noel. I like him over Christian Kirk. A lot of you kept asking me about Christian Kirk all season. I just couldn't. I'm like, it just don't excite me. You know how, and I hate to go to a comparison, but you know how some, as a man, I see some women like they cute, but everybody else might like them just because they got a pretty face. It just don't do it for me, and I'm okay with it. I'm not saying that she ugly. I'm not saying that that Christian Kirk can't play. It just don't excite me. That's why I always tell y'all go down with your ship. If I see a lady and I'm like, oh, she look nice. Oh man, she got a mole right here. I don't care. I like what I see. So when I see Jalen Noel, he looks better than Christian Kirk, in my opinion. Right? In my opinion. So I like Jalen Noel. You can go ahead and stash him. And I think C.J. Stroud maybe have found his little weapons where even though the offensive line is struggling, he will be able to get the ball out a little bit quicker to Jalen Noel, who's a great athlete and stuff like that. And then you got also you got Nico Collins coming back. So I think this whole offense outside of Nico Collins, they got to find out who the number 2 and who's the number 3 is. All right, let's go into the tight end. Here's my number 1 tight end pickup of the week. Is going to be Colston Loveland. I was on him a week early. It didn't work out, but guys, with the injuries from the wide receivers, Colston Loveland, with his draft capital and Ben Johnson being the coach, he has to get more targets. I think going against Cincinnati, who's giving it up behind the dumpster, everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. They got a, nice car and everything. Jamar Chase and good people, got good family, Joe Flacco, but they're going behind the dumpster late at night. So I like Colston Loveland, and I'm willing to go back to that well if I need a tight end. Now, if you got Kyle Pitts and these type of guys out there, I think they still a little bit higher. But it's a lot of tight ends out there, guys, that you can get and pick up. But pause. But yeah, I like Colston Loveland, guys. He's my favorite one going against Cincinnati. Also Isaiah Likely going against Miami. They talking about Mark Andrews could be traded. So I want y'all to have Isaiah Likely in case Mark Andrews is traded, because that's going to be great for Likely. I just need Lamar to come back. Our Father who are in heaven. Jawan Johnson with Tyler Show. Let me tell you about Tyler Show. Guys, he's a touch pass guy. He's not a deep threat guy. Now, he has a decent arm. He can throw the ball deep. But I think the underneath offense and the anticipation routes will be better than what it was with Spencer Rattler. So anticipation routes are good for tight ends. You see Travis Kelce, Mark Andrews in his prime. Does really good. So I like Jawan Johnson if he's out there on your waivers. I really like him. Even though they're going against the Rams, who has a really good defense. That might be the streaming defense of the week for a lot of people. I have some other teams, but I like Jawan Johnson. I just want y'all to know that. Okay, going to the DST. We're going to the DST. I'm going to the Ravens. Did you see how well they played with Tyler Huntley? They even play even better with Lamar because, it's a standard, So they don't want to be losing and playing bad. And the reason why Lamar didn't make the playoffs is because the defense fell off. When it's a lot of money on their defense. Making a lot of money. Kyle Hamilton, Roquan Smith, a couple of those corners, Marlon Humphrey, they making good money, so they should step up, guys. So you can go back to that well. We thought that was going to be a great defense in the beginning of the season. Now you can go back to there. And they play in Miami. I know Miami scared everybody last week, but still trust the process. So I like the Ravens if you need to go pick up a defense off the waivers tonight. And next is going to be Chargers, and then going against Tennessee. And Tennessee is giving it up behind the dumpster. I hate to disrespect the Ward family, Cam Ward, but yeah, you giving it up behind the dumpster, bro. So Chargers, I like the Chargers defense this week going against Tennessee. They probably are on your waivers. If they not, then you can go find the Ravens. Okay, so let's get to the sauce. Let's get to everybody question. Let me go down and get. So I'm gonna start off with the members, guys. The people that I read, they are members first. And listen, members, I need. This is what I need from my moderators. If I make you a moderator, I need you to repost my links. I need you to repost my join as a member link. I need you to repost it every 4 or 5 minutes. I need you to repost it in the chat. I need you to be able to delete trolls. If they troll, now if they just say 1 or 2 things and they leave it alone, let them troll. If they spam the chat, we put them in timeout. So I'll just need everybody that's a moderator always every 3 to 4 minutes reposting my join as a member, my links to my DraftKings, my links to my FanDuel, TikTok, all the links. All you gotta do is go into the description box and you can see it. So I appreciate that. Appreciate that, moderators. But Sports Dog says, TD, with May playing lights out, would you sit Jackson for the first week on his return or see how it works? Sports Dog, those are very, very difficult questions. But I'm gonna get now. I'm gonna go to that level for you because I understand that you are in an 18 league, and so you got Eva Mendez and you got J Lo on both hips. You good. You just got to find out who you going home with, right? So, who is the Patriots matchups? I haven't looked at the Patriots. My computer just went dead, so I need to know who the matchups is. I would say play Lamar Jackson if he's practicing and you don't hear anything about him being limited. Then if he's limited Friday and they don't know it's up in the air, I will go ahead and go with Drake May. You don't got time for that shit. I don't got time for that. So that's the common denominator. If Lamar starts practicing, let's say tomorrow, I need him to practice tomorrow or Thursday, no later than Thursday. If we wait to Friday, I will go ahead and go with Drake May, even if it's a tough matchup. But I love the Miami Dolphins matchup, so I would want to play Lamar. Hennessy Black says, I played Mooney too, and he lost me my week. I'm going to get DK over him. Yes. And guys, Mooney was the right move. But now we see that with Kirk Cousins, it doesn't seem to hit anymore like it did before last year. Last year, him and Mooney was balling out. So we have to readjust, and that's what it's about. So yes, I would play DK over Mooney this week too. I would too, bro. Even though they playing against the Chargers, which is a tough matchup, but I don't think the corners are going to be locking down DK. I do think they can at least put up 14 points, hopefully. Hopefully. Ice Cold Jones says, I put $30 fab on Tracy, bro. Plus, it's time for Brashard Smith. Yes. How many carries he's going to get, man? Do you think he's going to be fantasy startable? I just want to hold on to him and see what happens. I'll pick him up if he's green bean, but I'm not going to pick him up to start him immediately just because Pacheco being out. But $30 a fab, there's nothing wrong with that, bro. You know what you needed to do in order to get Tracy, so there's nothing wrong with that. Deal Devoted says, is Pacheco hurt too? I missed yesterday's game. Yes, Pacheco is hurt too. Scott says Achilles and dislocated ankles are becoming quite common. They are. Those Achilles are coming a little bit common. Wix B, what's up, bro? That's the shout out. What's going on? Appreciate you being here. Can I have a shout out? Yes, you can. Ninja says, thanks. I was leaning towards Ollie. MH says, 8-team shallow league. Running back room is a nightmare. At what point do you quit rushing guys like Rico Dowdle and Kenneth Walker to free up space for potential starters like Tyrone Tracy? You're not going to put Tyrone Tracy over Rico Dowdle for what's going on in Carolina. Did you hear what Canales is saying? He said that he wanted to give Chuba a chance to play. And he did that for 2 games, and it hasn't worked to what he thought it would work. So they have a knowledge that Rico is playing better. So they're not going to sit Chuba down completely, but it is 70-30 now. I will go ahead and make that and stand 10 toes down on my prediction of a 70-30 split. You have to do that as a coach now. I would have did the same thing that Canales did. Me and a friend, we debated and argued about that. And he kept saying, nope, you should sit Chuba down immediately. And I just think that disingenuous. I asked him, I said, well, would you want to be set down? No, I'm a competitor. And that's when it didn't make sense. That's why I was like, no, everybody, and I'm willing to be able to step out of myself and say, yeah, I would want to play. I don't give a damn if it's Christian McCaffrey. I want to play. But it's the process that I'm going to be okay with. So by the process of them starting Rico this week, I think Chuba's going to be okay because Chuba had his opportunities to earn his position back, and he didn't play that well. He might still be upset, but he'll be okay with it, and he's not going to pout. He's not going to go and unfollow them. But if they would have set him down immediately, it could have been a cancerous to the team, and he's a captain. He's a captain. So I would not put Rico in. Kenneth Walker is different, and that's just in my opinion. I would probably play. It just depends. Tyrone Tracy, Kenneth Walker, depends on the matchup. I'm okay with playing Kenneth Walker. Not saying that you can't drop Kenneth Walker or put him on the bench and go get Tyrone Tracy and put him in that spot, but not Rico Dowdle. Rico Dowdle is on another level, on another tier than Kenneth Walker and Tyrone Tracy at this point in time. With what Canales said in 3 weeks ago from the top games that he had when he had 200 yards from the line of scrimmage. That's why I like Rico. But Kenneth Walker's up to you between what you're going to do. You can go pick up Tyrone Tracy and play Tyrone Tracy over Kenneth Walker. Holy Inspiration says Isaiah Pacheco is currently considered week to week with a sprained MCL. Is Hunt a top waiver pickup? He's getting the goal line work. Yes, he is. And I don't think that Pacheco is going to be, guys, he's probably going to be out 2 to 3 weeks. This is a knee injury. He's not coming back on like with a knee brace next week. I could be off, but that's what I believe. But yes, Hunt is a pickup. If Hunt's out there, play him. I didn't think Hunt was out there in a lot of leagues, but he's a good goal line back. He's a flex play RB2. Thomas Dotson. He says, what up, TD? And other bench stash. Is it time to drop Bill? No, do not drop Bill. For a player like Spears, it depends on what you got to do. But yes, I do like Isaiah Davis. I probably should have mentioned Isaiah Davis. I'm sorry about that. Isaiah Davis is definitely a good pickup. After Tajay Spears, so I would say Tajay Spears, Tyrone Tracy, Isaiah Davis are my top running backs. Then I'll go to Ollie Gordon and Zonovan Knight as a rental. But Zonovan Knight probably going to have a great game next, this coming up week because of the matchup. But long term, it would be in those rankings that I just said, like far as Tajay Spears, Isaiah Davis, Tyrone Tracy, Kareem Hunt, then Ollie Gordon. For players like Spears, I just fanning. Shakira got dropped last week. Yes, I like Shakira. You can pick up Shakira. That's called PPR. If you in 4 PPR, pick up Shakira. But I like Spears and Isaiah Davis. But don't drop Bill. Stash them. Stash them. Do not drop Bill. What's up, TZ? South says, well, what up? You still holding Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt and J-Mo, or are they droppable? I'm still holding both of them. I'm playing J-Mo in one league. I drop J-Mo in another league. It just depends on the league. It depends on what I need. It depends on my wide receiver depth. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, you just don't drop running backs. You need them. You need running backs, even if they're not playing great. He is a running back that's getting at least 40 to 50% of the snaps at the running back position, and they are optimal. If they are on a goal line, he's gonna get it. He's usually gonna run it, and they don't have the quarterback, so it could be unfair to see how good Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt is with Mariota instead of Jaden Daniels. So I'm holding on to Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt and J-Mo. J-Mo got some great matchups coming up. It's volatile, but he's still J-Mo. I'd rather play J-Mo than to probably play DK. And I'm being honest with you. I would play J-Mo over DK this week. And if DK goes off again and J-Mo gives me another dud, then we might have to reassess it. Fantas Jaguar says, who do you like more, Judkins or Warren? I like Judkins over Warren, if long as Judkins is healthy. Tim says, Hurts on the bye. Should I take Dart or Stafford off waivers? I would take Stafford. I would take Stafford off and play him. Dart is long-term. Stafford is a great one-week rental with Hurts on the bye, so I would go with Stafford. Great question. Scott says, a nursing home. Yes. Bro, I know I'm not. That's if I'm gonna sit here and talk about Tyler's show and talk about the cutting edge content that I always talk about, which a dude try to say it ain't cutting edge. Well, me going to the rest home is cutting edge. It's cutting edge content. And so what I'm telling y'all, you got to be bold to the throne. You got to be bold. Don't let. Oh man, I ain't doing that. That's disgusting. Oh, it's disgusting to play JJ McCarthy. It's disgusting to play Ollie Gordon. Okay, we're gonna see about that. You better not let nobody else pick them up. You're gonna be hating. Y'all, any y'all, any y'all ever seen the movie with what's his name? Dang, I can't. Jim Carrey. It's called Liar. And you remember he met that older lady, right? So don't be hating. People started hating on Jim. People started hating on Jim. Okay. B Silver said Tito don't turn nothing down but his collar. Come on now. King Sirius says, I think Tracy will be a low-end RB2. I agree for the rest of the season. I agree, King Sirius. Not a top 10 RB1 that gets goal line work like Scatterbo. Big facts. That's why I told people be careful with Tyrone Tracy. Big Will says, yes, sir. Stashed Joe Burrow as soon as I saw someone draft him. Good job. Intelligent says, do you think Scatterbo will ever have the same sort of juice next year after such a severe injury? Yes, because he's not a speed guy. He's a power guy. He's a quick guy. It's not going to hurt your quickness. It can hurt your long speed. And I've seen people come back from that type of injury. He's a power back. I think he'll be okay because he's still young. He's still going to be strong. He's still going to run into you with his neck and head, right? As long as his neck and head is good, pause. He's going to be a beast. Big Will says, if I was Shadur, I'll sue and then go overseas to play. Yes. It depends on what they do. If they do something terrible to him and he don't get to play in the NFL, yes, I would sue him. But as long as he gets to play, he's not going to do that. I mean, you don't piss where you sleep at, all right? You don't sue everything if you want to come back. Like if you want to be a musician, you don't go and sue Sony Records, right? You pick and choose your battles. Now, if you big and you huge in the game, like a John Gruden, you can sue whoever you want to. You'll be okay. But if you young, up and coming, you got to be careful. You got to politic. You got to be an ambassador. Alex Flores says, someone offered me Jacobs and Jettas for CMC. Man, I might take that. Let me tell you why. Jacobs, man, is getting, now is he CMC where he's going to catch a bunch of passes and give you 26 points even on tough matchups? Maybe not, but Josh Jacobs is a top 5 running back, man, any week. And then you getting Justin Jefferson with him. So you replacing CMC with Jacobs, and then you getting a wide receiver like Justin Jefferson where everybody's gonna be sad if he don't get 10 targets. I love those wide receivers when they be like, man, we got to get him the ball. He's special. And that's what he is, man. I actually say take that trade. Usually I'm like, no, you got the sauce. No, I might take that trade. Raleigh says, if Pacheco is out next week with injury, do I play Hunt or Bam Knight? So you talking about this week. I would probably play Bam over Hunt, even if Pacheco is out, because of the matchup. Now, Michael Carter comes back, I'll probably go to Hunt. But Hunt is a good play, but I think Knight is a little bit better of a play. What's up, Hennessy Black? What's up, bruh? Kuma, what's up, Kuma? He said, should I pick up Sampson of the Browns? Yes, and it's a bye week. That's why I didn't mention him. But thank you for bringing that up. It's a couple bye week people that you need to pick up. I might not have mentioned everybody. I just didn't want to give you a bunch of fruit salad. But Sampson is good, especially with Quinshawn going through the injury. Now, listen, Quinshawn may be okay, but we don't know. So you can pick him up and green bean him. Don't spend no waiver money on him. But pick them up, and then you can wait and see what Quinshawn going to do next week because they on a bye week this week. Butte is a sleeper, but remember Xavier Leggett is a sleeper. J-Mo is a sleeper. Like I will tell you to sleep. I'm not doing sleepers right now. It's too risky. personal preference, I'm not going to mix it in there. I've been playing Butte a lot. I've been playing Butte when he playing bad, but I can't get y'all to understand that. Y'all gonna be like, that when I say Butte or Troy Franklin. So I just like, okay, guys, Jamar Chase, yay! Who should I pick up? Where is it? Should I trade for him? So I love sleepers. I've been playing Butte. I've been playing Franklin. I've been playing Xavier Leggett. I don't worry about when it don't hit. I understand what I'm doing. I understand the risk. Everything that I do, I understand the risk. That's how I am in life. When I'm getting ready to go to another lane, shit, I might not switch lanes in the road because you know what? It's too risky. I don't know what I don't know what this truck is gonna do. So I'm gonna chill. I ask people, they say I drive slow, and my dad was an older man. He taught me how to drive. I don't be speeding. I have had a speeding ticket recently. That was my first speeding ticket. So yeah, Butte is a really good sleeper. Anybody on that offense with the Patriots can score anytime. Hennessy said, pick up Sampson. Yes, you can pick up Sampson. Stash him. He's a stash. Green bean him. Don't spend any money on him. Original says, pick up Flacco. Yes, pick up a Flacco, man. He's throwing it to Jamar Chase. He is killing it, Original. Appreciate you being here. Hennessy Black says, I picked him up for sure. Sampson is going to be necessary moving forward. I think so, too. Especially with Quinshawn having an injury. Kuma says, thank you. Anytime, bro. Anytime. Deal Devoted says, Lamar practice on Monday. Full participate. He'll be back this Thursday. Okay, somebody said he didn't practice. I can show you the information. That was like, he didn't practice today. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm reading so much information. Thank you, Deal Devoted. Thank you for putting that out there. So yes, we got Lamar. I'm playing Lamar over Drake May. Sports Dog. Scott says should never take a quarterback in the first 5 rounds. I disagree with that. When Lamar gets going, you'll feel it, but like, damn, I'm on him. But right now you don't feel it because why? Because Drake May. What other players are playing good right now? Joe Flacco. Jackson Dart. That's what's going on. It's a lot of sleeper quarterbacks because Lamar been out there. Josh Allen, I told people to Josh Allen. I don't know. I still like Josh Allen, but that offense has transitioned to James Cook, which I was very, very high on James Cook all season. But this offense has transitioned. Well, once he got the deal. Once he got the deal. So I'll call Josh Allen. He has been kind of iffy, and taking him early could have been a mistake. But I'd rather have Josh Allen. He's won a couple people their weeks. I think, man, you got to have a top quarterback, though. I'd rather have a top quarterback. I don't want to go in with J.J. McCarthy. I just don't want to go. I want to go in with a top quarterback. That's just me. But I respect what you're saying. I want to see what happens at the end of the year. I might have to reassess that, bro. Good call. Good take, Scott. Thomas says, I saw reports that Lamar practiced in full today. Okay, I don't know what the hell is going on. Thank you for letting me know that, Thomas Dodson. I got really, really smart people in here that y'all do y'all research too. But I had read that he didn't practice today. It could have been an old report, and I didn't even see it. Maybe I didn't look at the date on it. But I just put these guys' names in Google and kind of look and see what different articles are saying about them. And also I look at Underdog too, just to let y'all know my references. I'm giving y'all my what they call a bibliography page. Thomas says, also Michael Carter's back with the Cardinals. Okay. Okay. Good information there. So Donovan Knight, I will go to the other running back if I got Donovan Knight with Michael Carter being back. He might not get the snaps that Donovan is getting, but you might not want that. But I still think he's going to be a goal line guy. Remember, sometimes when we are on bye weeks, we're looking for touchdown upside. We don't need nobody to get 40 carries or 25 carries. We need you to get 13, 14 carries, enough to be decent, and get that goal line touch like Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt didn't have a bunch of carries. He just got the goal line work. The honey touches. Hennessy Black says, the only ladies that would be offended by the dumpster are ashamed because they used to be one of the ones. Come on, Hennessy. You going to get me in trouble, bruh. They're going to get me in trouble. And listen, a lot of them used to be behind a dumpster. You'll never know. They'll never tell you. I'm telling you, you'll never know. Somebody else in the street's going to have to tell you. Somebody else, that's why a lot of, you ever meet a lady that used to live in a different town, and this is for men too. I'm not just gonna put it on ladies. Men have run away from their past too. But you ever met a lady from another city, and you're like, yeah, that city was boring, and the people are lame there. What's going on, Mr. Nault? What's going on? Hennessy Black says, I think if you have Hubbard and Rico, you have to play them together. I agree with that, Hennessy. I've been saying that. I agree, but this week is a little bit different, bro. I'm willing to go play Rico by himself, and I'm also willing to sit Chuba in some leagues. I didn't sit Chuba in a lot of leagues. I sit him maybe in a couple, but I played him, and he gave me a touchdown. It was decent. I think Rico's getting ready to get that 70-30 work, but who knows? Chuba could break a long play, all right? The same thing that can make you laugh can make you cry. But I love how you put that together. I agree with that, especially the last 2 weeks. But I think Rico got a little bit more sauce. Rico, Chuba. As far as the coach value, not like their level. I think I got to give Rico some respect, but I still think Chuba's a good back. I just think he's rusty. Mr. Nault says, I hear whispers what to do. About what, bro? Sports Doc said TD100. I picked up Mooney and Pitts was fine. Mooney, not so much. Would you drop Mooney? I'm also going to drop Schultz and hang on to Pitts. Right. Yeah, why not? Just depends on what I'm not going to drop him just to drop him. Who are you picking up? What you trying to do? That's what you need to do if you're trying to drop Mooney. You need to make that decision. Just don't drop him just to drop him. Yes, let's get these likes up. We got 47 people in here, guys, and we only got 31 likes. Come on, let's get the likes up. Thank you, Double J.E. Thank you. Hennessy Black says, bench Vidal last week. Woo! Still won, okay. And played Dobbins instead. That's fine. You went down with your ship. This week, I'm going to play Vidal and bench Dobbins. I hope Dobbins don't outscore him and lose. Now, listen. Only thing I'm gonna chat, bro, there's nothing wrong with what you're doing, but let me tell you something. So you know how back in school, the math teacher used to ask you to show your work? Guys, that's all I'm doing is asking y'all to show me your work. So listen, if you make a wrong move, I'm only gonna mark it a third wrong. Not a half point. I'm gonna give you only a third wrong. So you can still get 75% of a point. Not 75%, but 70% of you can still get 70% of that bubble, right? So what I'm saying is I did this, but it didn't go, so I'm going to switch it up this week. No, try to stay consistent. But if you have to make that move because you saw that you made a mistake, that's fine. But don't chase the points that happen afterwards. Because Dobbins, if you like Dobbins, you should be. I don't understand why you rotating them. Because like if I play J-Mo, it's going to take a lot for me not to like J-Mo for me to put a guy in his same tier, over him. So, Dobbins, you played Dobbins. Dobbins was a tier over Vidal. I like Vidal, but that doesn't got nothing to do with Dobbins being a good top tier running back. So, why would you sit Dobbins this week? What is telling you to sit Dobbins this week and go to Vidal? Because it seems like to me you chasing the points instead of chasing the player who got talent that you believe in because the coaches like him and they know he's playing well. And I said all of that to let you know why. That's why you play a guy. Yeah, if this week they say, hey, Vidal is our guy and he's going to do this kind of like Rico Dowdle and the coaches are speaking good about Vidal, that could make me put him over Dobbins. But I'm not just going to put him over Dobbins just because it didn't work out for me last week. So that's what I want you to be careful of. I'm not saying that's the wrong move to make. So what I'm saying, and also, guys, going back to my teacher reference, because I kind of got off. I was looking at I got an email. Just because whatever the results is doesn't mean that you did something wrong. So if you play a guy and he gives you a 0 like QJ did, you didn't make the wrong move. I'm not going to say, now if you don't show me your work, and I say, why did you pick QJ? because he's been playing well. Like, but you say I like QJT. He's the number one. He came back. He was healthy. Da, 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 da. Bro, you made the right call. You show me your work. Show yourself your work. You always gonna be fine in fantasy because you always got a process. Even if it's flawed, you can get better at the process. But if you sit there and start chasing points, you don't know who you are. Remember, I always say that you don't know what you're doing. You're gonna be, oh, I'm gonna play this guy. I'm gonna play Tyler Lockett. He had 40 points last week. No, you don't do that. Go through your process. AJB says, is Bijan or Taylor better rest of the season? I think Taylor's going to be the number one RB. Bijan is great, so don't worry about that. We're not going to worry about what Bijan did. I'm watching what the coaches are doing. Come on, coaches. That Tyler Algier shit, I don't care nothing about that. That fumble shit from Bijan, I don't care nothing about that. Bijan needs to be out there 80% of the time at the wide receiver position or the running back. So Taylor right now, I got to give him his flowers, but Bijan is a top 5 running back, and so is Taylor. But Taylor is in front of Bijan in rankings. Hennessy Black says, I played Mooney too, and he lost me my week. I'm going to get DK over him. Yes, and that's fine. Mooney was a guy that he hadn't did nothing all season, so I don't think he had proved anything to you. Yes, move forward. It's nothing wrong with playing DK. Holy Inspiration says, facts. Sports Dog says, TD with May playing lights out. Okay, we did that one already. Ref says, fantasy analysts once again didn't help much this season. Malik giving me 15+ points. Malik who? Because we're not here. Listen, we don't know the future. Don't come here and set yourself up. Don't come and call a psychic and ask them what is gonna, because nobody calls a psychic and asks them what is the number going to be for this week for me to win billions of dollars. It don't work that way. But guess what they can do? They can give you a snippet. Hey man, you lucky. You could da-da-da. So you might be out here trying to play numbers. You don't hit the numbers, but you meet the girl of your dreams, and somebody makes the wrong mistakes, and somebody, you get a check in the mail that was you forgot about the money and it comes. That's the type of stuff. You don't know what is gonna come. So all I can tell you is give you a list of players, and I'm not gonna tell you when they're gonna hit this week and they're gonna do this week, bro. Nobody knows. So all we can do is give you confirmation. That's what I'm here for. I can call myself an expert fantasy person, but I'm gonna give you confirmation. I want to give you a process. Hey man, you didn't get no fish, don't worry about it. As long as you baiting the hook, you double looping your hook, tying it off, you casting, you're gonna catch something eventually. I can't say that you're gonna catch it on a third cast. So don't come here to the fantasy people, man, expecting them to make God moves and for you just to go and talk shit. I think it's very disingenuous. I understand that you can send money, but you still got to be for real about it and have a process of how you are rating your fantasy analysts. Doctors make mistakes. Doctors, oh, I got a tumor. They can't get it. They couldn't get it out. You're going to die in 6 months. I hate to say something like that. I'm being joking. That's kind of a little disingenuous. But doctors, everybody, bro, nothing is 100%. Nobody's 100%. Baseball, football, Aaron Rodgers stole picks. Eric Dickerson fumbled. He had bad games. Barry Sanders had bad games. It happens. Vibes, VBZ. I hope I'm saying it right. Appreciate you being here. He says Jamar Chase, Sutton, Ibuka, Pearsall, Irvin, Judkins, Chase, Jalen Hurts are players my opponent has. He wants Derrick Henry. If you were to want something for Henry, what would you do not knowing my situation? Okay. Are the players that my opponent has. He wants Derrick Henry. I'm going to do a 2-for-1. I would take Judkins. So I don't know if you need a wide receiver, but I do 2 running backs. I take Judkins and Chase Brown, or I take Judkins and Ibuka because Ibuka had a down game. So I would take Judkins or Ibuka or Judkins or Chase for Derrick Henry if I want to do a trade. Intelligence says, how you feel about Theo Johnson? He has 9 targets in the red zone. Yes, and that's what Jackson Dart does. When they get down there by the red zone and the green zone, he looks for Theo, who is a tall tight end. So Theo, if you need to stream Theo, he's just a rental guy. To me, I don't think I would want to play him over some of these other guys. I like Juwan Johnson better, but if you liked him over Coastal Loveland, with Coastal Loveland haven't done anything this season, I understand it. Isaiah Likely has been hurt all season, so I understand it. But not over Juwan Johnson, who's been way more safer and a better floor. Dear Devoter says, no lie, TD. The mole always been a no for me, okay? He says, my homies don't mind it, but me, I can't go down with that ship. Gotta know yourself. More of this. Yes, bruh. I agree. If you don't, I didn't draft Jamar Chase. That ain't for me, bruh. That don't mean that he ain't good for you. I love it. I love it, bruh. I love it. That's funny as hell. That's funny. Bruh, I can't wait to come out to the California and chop it up with you. MVM says Tet or MHJ. I can't, man. It's hard for me to go to Tet. I'm going to go with MHJ with Collar coming back. Coming off the bye week. But it is tomato-ish. But I'm going to go with MHJ. Vibe says, what do you think about Olave this week? Worthy enough to bench him for Franklin, Knight, or Tracy? No, we're not going to get cute. Tyler Short is actually better for Olave because Tyler has better accuracy underneath than Spencer Rattler. He's just younger. So Tyler has got a good, nice anticipation ball. So I think that only helps Olave in and out of his breaks underneath. And I told y'all last year about Olave. He needs to be a slot wide receiver. And he could be the best slot wide receiver. And you see it with his numbers as fantasy. He's great underneath. And he can beat you deep, too. In the NFL, he's not a deep guy because he's too small. And he's going to be out there going across the middle. They're going to light him up. But if underneath, using him like a Junior Elderman type and stuff, he's good at that. So, no, I keep playing Olave. I do like Franklin. Franklin is booming out. He's getting ready to be the #1 guy that you would want to play in fantasy for the Denver Broncos over the other wide receiver. I forgot his name. Yes, and even over Knight and Tracy. I like Olave over all three of those guys. Jay Moore says, do you think Purdy will play this week? I don't know. We're just going to have to wait it out and see. That's all it's about. You're still going to start George Kittle, and you're still going to start Parasol no matter who's the quarterback is. So it don't really matter. You're just going to have to wait it out and make that move. I wouldn't go and spend my waiver priority thinking that Purdy's going to be out. I would wait and see what happens. Sometimes you just got to wait it out, bro. Juan Marino said, what's up, bro? Should I trade Cooks for Barkley and Travis Etienne? No. I think Cook's going to be better than Barkley or the same as Barkley. So I would keep Cooks. If you said Barkley and another, like Quinshon Judkins, I would say, you can. But we don't know if Barkley's going to be healthy. They say he's healthy. You never know. So, man, Cook's got the sauce. I think Cooks, guys, and this is my opinion, it's really no running back that I would trade Cooks for in the game. Maybe Jonathan Taylor. That's the only guy that I would trade. I wouldn't trade CMC. I wouldn't trade James Cook and try to get CMC. I wouldn't trade James Cook, try to get Derrick Henry. I think I got that player. Why would I trying to trade anything? I think Cooks is him. Now, a lot of players may not be, I don't think it's like on that Cook level as the #1 at their position. But when I do my quadrant rankings, Cook is probably going to be my #1 running back. Intelligence says, even with Tyrone Tracy Jr. stepping back into the starting role, I don't see him as anything more than a weekly flex play. I agree with you 100%. The Marino says, Patriots playing the Falcons. Yes. So I forgot it was Butte. Yes, Butte is a good. Okay. Yes, Butte is a good start this week. Yes, sir. No mention of Butte for the waivers now, man, because bro, it's hard for me to do waivers. I don't go and listen to other people's channels and give y'all those waivers. I like to go and skim through all my waivers and take a couple players that I think could be out there or players that I really like. Butte, man, I've talked about Butte. I didn't think he was out there with it the way he's been playing the last couple of weeks. But yes, I definitely like Butte. I don't like him over Franklin, but he's definitely need to be picked up. He definitely. Thank you for mentioning guys, and I always mention players. If I don't talk about them, it's because I'm not going to mention 15 players at each position. I'm not doing that. It doesn't make sense. I used to do that. Nobody paid attention. Nobody cared. You cared about a couple guys. Tyrone Tracy, that was it. So if you think that I should have mentioned a guy, I always bring it up, and I'll let you know. And that's a great bring up, Thomas. I like Butte. Now, he could give me a 0, and I'm still going to like him. Y'all won't. Y'all don't like if a girl fart, you would kick her out the house. A lot of you, yes, a lot of you. I'm talking about you, Deal Devoted. If you would kick a girl out for a mole, she dropped the pass. Somebody dropped the pass. They had a bad game. Me, I'm like, no, I'm gonna build her up. I see the best. I'm gonna build that player up. I like that player. That player's a good player. He's gonna have a nice role eventually. And H22 said he'll play Thursday. B Silver said some bum I lost by a few points in a couple leagues. Kamara and Otten burned me. Yeah. Kamara, hopefully Tyler can help him out. But he's about to be like a flex bench guy, Kamara. And the Monday night game creeped up on me like Pinky from Friday. Jay Moore says if Pearsall not back, who should I target off waivers? Shamir DK or Malik Washington. Those are two guys. Wicks in the building. I see you, Wicks. Brian Payton says, brother Benson is available in 50% of the league. Stash him. Stash him. Michael White says, I'm 6-2. Would you start Charbonnet and Marks at the flex the rest of the season? I'm trying to get by in my league. Yes. Ain't nothing wrong with starting Charbonnet and Marks. It could be a lot worse than that. Three Strikes says, are we holding on to Rico, though, because I got good depth, or just bench and hold? Oh, we definitely hold on to Rico, bro, but do not drop no Rico. No, sir. No, sirree. Do not drop Rico. CK in the building. He says, I won't get Tracy on waivers. I'm third. Is Hunt or Bam a waiver claim, or just wait until free agency? Wait until free agency. I don't know what your team, if you got good players around Hunt, because Hunt would be the guy I would tell you to get. If you got good players around Hunt, then wait to free agency. But if you don't, and if you lose, you're gonna be less than 500. I would say go spend it on Hunt. But if you already got a good record and you're just trying to make your team the best you can, I will wait to the free agent. Three Strikes, what's up, bruh? CK says, is Jordan Mason a drop now? I don't like him, but he's not a drop. I don't like him as a player, not as, and I don't mean as a player, as a fantasy player. I don't like him. So, but I would not drop him. You got to be careful about dropping. I don't like to drop anybody if I don't have to. Like, I dropped J-Mo last week. That was the first time, and I had to for a defense to make sure I could win the week, because I know J-Mo was going to be on a bye week. J-Moore says, I am still willing to play Rico with a tough matchup. Me too, J-Moore, at this point. Brian Payton says, Brandon Knight over Tracy next week? No, not next week. This week, yes, but Tracy for the rest of the season. But this week, yes. Going against the Dallas Cowboys, Bam is going to play good. Tracy after that for the rest of the season. Three Strikes says, I don't think we see Pacheco no more this season. I agree. I agree with that. Not this season, maybe in the playoffs. Being that he wasn't even recovered from the last season injury. I agree. Louise, what's up, bro? He says, lost Scatterbo. I still have Woody, Spears, Harvey, T. Henderson. You got those rookie running backs ready to break out for the third and fourth quadrant. Great job. Who should I start? 2 RBs, 4 PPR. I would say Spears. I'm going to say Spears and Woody. I can't go to Travion Henderson. We got to wait. We just not going to do that. I'm not doing that no more. So I'm going to say Spears and Woody. Great question, Louise. Brian Payton says Benson over all them. Over all who? Over who? Because Benson's just a stash. We don't know when he's coming back. We never know. They might say he's coming back, but he might not be ready. You know, he's like, oh, he's off the IR, but he still could be 70%. So let me know who you're talking about, Brian. Michael White says, "What up, TD? I'm 6-2. I want to start Marks and Charbonnet the rest of the season. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. I understand, especially if you got killer wide receivers like Jamar Chase and those top guys and a top quarterback." Jay Moore says, "Willing to fade Spears and go pick up Henderson for long-term thoughts." I don't know. I don't know if Henderson ever is going to give you the ceiling that you want, but I think Spears has a nice floor and he got ceiling too. I like Spears this week, but I do like Henderson stashed. But I can't sit here and say to fade Spears and just pick up Henderson and you're going to be okay. I think that could be a mistake depending on your record. Jay Moore says, "Need help at wide receiver. I have Marvin Harrison Jr., Buka on a bye, and Noel. Any suggestions?" Play Marvin Harrison Jr. I would play Marvin Harrison Jr. There's nothing wrong with playing Noel. I think he's going to be better than Christian Kirk. So right now, by not knowing what's on your waivers, I like Shamir DK. I would play DK over Noel. So I would play, if you can play Marvin Harrison Jr. and Shamir DK, I think that would be a good week 9 start. Brian says, "This guy don't watch ball. Bill gets 70% of the snaps." No, he don't get no 70% of the snaps. Nichols was in the game the whole time. And even if it is 70% snaps, those numbers aren't right. He don't get no pass downs. And that team passed a lot, especially later in the game. Now, when they win in the game, he gets 70% of the snaps. But when they losing, Nichols is in there, and they're not throwing him the ball a lot. So that's what it's about. So I don't know what you're talking about, Brian Payton. Get your stats right. Probably best to sell the Panthers backfield to whoever wants it. Packers up next, not good. Yeah, you can sell, but make sure you get something nice. Don't give them away for no chopped liver. Black Sack says Tua or Stroud off the waivers. I'm going with Stroud. Brian Payton says, "Don't drop Kamara." I wouldn't drop him either. But if you need to, you in an 8-team league and you can pick up. I'm trying to see. I mean, you picking up a top player, yes. But why would you drop Kamara for Shamir DK, right? That's what I'm. So, but yeah, if you picking up an elite player to play this week, like a Brian Thomas Jr., and I'm just mentioning the name. I'm not saying it's him. Then yeah, do it. Do whatever, like I said, guys, about going to the restaurant. Do what you got to do. Don't worry about what people got to say. Do what you got to do to win the week. Now, if you got a good record, you need to be thinking macro, not micro, macro. You need to be thinking long term. Rashid says, I'm going with over JMO just off game script. I agree with that. I love JMO off the game script because it's the Detroit Lions and that offense is amazing. Sometimes you know how you got a homeboy and he hanging out with these group of girls, or he seemed to be hanging out with a group of girls all the time, and they killing it. Like, yeah, you like, hey, I'm gonna hang out with them too, and you're gonna get the residuals of that. So it might not be a Holly Berry, but it's gonna be something close to that, and that's what J-Mo is. He ain't Amon-Ra St. Brown, he ain't Jahmyr Gibbs. But shit, it don't matter. He still can have some nice games because he's with a great offense. So it's like being a wingman. I don't mind being a wingman for a guy who got elite women around him. Michael says, I'm going to start Lawrence against Raiders. Hurts on the bye. What you think about that? There's nothing wrong with that. I think that's a great matchup for him. Joseph Massey says, would you pick up Bam Knight or Spears? I'm picking up Spears over Bam. I have Benson on IR. Now, I'm not saying Bam's going to play bad. He's a 1-week rental, but I like Spears rest of the season. Nino says, got offered CD, Dowdle, Flowers for CMC plus Jacoby. My wide receivers are Diggs, Jacoby, Ellick, and Burton. Got offered CD, Dowdle, Flowers for CMC and Jacoby. Yeah. If you don't need CMC, bro, you putting it in front of me. So that let me know that for you to even mention CMC, you can trade him. Now, I don't know the rest of your running backs, but if you got 3 top 10 running backs with CMC and 2 other top 10 guys, you can make that move to make sure your wide receivers are better, because right now you got Diggs and Jacoby and Ellick and Burton. No. So you need CD and Flowers. So I would say, yeah, if you got great running backs behind CMC. Not average, not okay, not solid, not good, great. At least one top great one, like a Derrick Henry or Jonathan Taylor. Nino says, could I also do Debo instead of Flowers? No, I would go with Flowers. Big Will says, my bad. Pick up Hunt and drop Managa. Yes. Yes. J Moore says, Burrow on track to return mid-December. Okay. CK says Carter was resigned today and sounds like it was a strict roster move to open a spot for an offensive line. Okay. Ed Tay says Tank is a good one too. I don't know what you talking about, Ed Tay. Brian says Judkins out for at least 1 week after the bye. King Sirius laughing. Kuma says, thank you, bro. Stay up. Yes, sir. J Moore says, thoughts on Henderson. I think he's going to be good. You just got to hold on to him until the opportunity comes. That's all we can do. That's all. I know I keep saying the same thing, but I don't want to be in 2 weeks. TD, they said Henderson, he did this and he went for 200 yards. And I didn't tell y'all this today. So I want to tell you, you got to hold on to Henderson. I'm not dropping any of my rookie running backs. Harvey, Henderson, shit, not even Devin Neal. Michael says, true, you got to have a top quarterback, I believe, unless you get like you get lucky or you pick up the right guy like a Drake May. King Sirius says, I think Jackson Dart could be a team's goal line runner with Scatterbo out. You're right. Big facts. I agree. I think he's going to keep running the ball like he's been doing. Deal the voters said, let's get them likes up, fellas. Yes, sir. King Sirius says, should I drop Kyle Managa for Isaiah Davis? Yes, you should. Double JE says, Carter is just one on the practice squad. Okay, thank you. That's good information. Logo says, thought on Arande Gaddison. He is a top pickup if he's out there on your waivers. He is a starter tight end. He's a top 5 tight end. I hate to say it. Maybe that's too much. Maybe I say top 10. But you got to start Gaddison. So if you got Kittle or somebody, I would trade Kittle and just play Gaddison or vice versa. Father said, it's getting cold. Ollie Gordon, come on now. B. Growing says, Mooney played me, still won, though. Good stuff, B. Growing. CK says, they played Chuba big. They played Chuba big money. They paid him big money. Yes. Oh, no, they didn't pay him big money. He didn't get big money. He didn't get big money. CMC deal 7 years ago was bigger. The deal that he got for the Carolina Panthers was bigger than Chuba's. And that's 7 years ago. So it wasn't big money, but it was good money. Ed Tate says, Bam or Hunt. I'm going with Hunt. After Arizona, send Carter to the practice squad. I'm going with Hunt. Kuma says, should I drop Tony Pollard for Sampson? No. King Silver says, I cannot trust Mooney until he has at least one good game first. Like I always say, I need to see it. But we went with it because we thought we had saw it with Kirk Cousins in the past. But no, I need to see it again. Will Hayes says, should I drop either Matthew Golden or Tez Johnson and pick up Troy Franklin? Yes, I would drop Matthew Golden and pick up Troy Franklin. Sports Dog said TD 100. Yeah, I did drop Mooney, and I use London if he's off IR or Allen in my wide receiver spot. King Sirius says, do you think the Panthers are a viable target for good defenses? No. Not after that. I need to see it first. Not after what they did last week. I can't play them anymore. I didn't play them last week, but I need to see them have at least a good outing. Tron says, picked up Bam Knight yesterday and traded Bam for Fannin and Debo. I also have Goddard and Hunter Henry at tight end. Jaden Daniels is my quarterback. Wide receivers are now Nico, Olave, Devontae, Debo, Blumhorn, Travis Hunter. I love the Travis Hunter. Yes, you got good wide receivers. Guys, Travis Hunter should not be on your waivers either. Michael White says, Ferguson had no catches. Would you worry now the CD back? No. Remember, like I told y'all, but like the mode, you can't let one bad situation just get you off of a player. One bad situation doesn't get you off a player. One fart from a woman should not make you want to break up with her and not want to be with her, right? Everybody farts. Everybody has bad games. Black Sack says, should I take Tua or Stroud off the waivers? I would take Stroud. Joseph says, hold on, guys. Joseph said, thoughts on Travis Hunter rest of the season. He's a top 24 wide receiver. You got to pick him up. Logo says Chargers news. Aronda Gaddison starting tight end moving forward, and he won the Rookie of the Week 8. Yes, sir. That's what I'm talking about, Logo. Holy Inspiration says, have you experienced collusion in your leagues? A little bit. A little bit. But I haven't had to kick nobody out, but I had to warn them about doing, hey, you can take them and then you trade them back. Like, I ain't doing that trade back shit. We not doing none of that. 2 or more of my team managers secretly conspiring to help one team win, often though one-sided trades. Yes. Just be careful. If somebody do a trade, watch how they moving and see if they do it another year. Because listen, if you see a person do it 1 year and then the next year the other person does a lopsided trade, make sure you collect that data, take screenshots, and then when you see it, give it to them and kick them out the league. CK says, Mims Jr. What you talking about, CK? Black Sack says Addison and Breach for Metcalf. Is that a good swap? Yes, I don't like the Breach and Addison. I like Addison, but the quarterback situation is disgusting. Breach is good. He could get traded. It doesn't excite me. I think it's solid. I think you're getting a 2 for 1, but it doesn't excite me. The Addison Breach side is getting 2 for 1, but it doesn't excite me. Sports Officer TD, I really don't know what's up with Kamara. Once again, he just isn't performing. Do I keep him or bail out? Don't drop him. You hold on to him if you need to bench him. Big Gon says Ram D or New Orleans against New Orleans or Lions D. That's a good one. I like the Rams D against New Orleans. Deal says I'm going back to Cali. Yes, sir. Holy Inspiration says Deontay Johnson visited Giants today. That's disgusting. Dear Devoted says TD, I hear you, but that's one I can let slide. My girl is a walking gas tank. Okay, she'll let one go, then look at me with a smile as if I enjoyed it. Ooh, boy, y'all nasty, ain't you? Hey, that's real love. That's real shit right there, bro. That's real life shit. Cause that's not just what we talking about, but yeah, that's my homie Deal. He crazy as hell, man. Jay Moore says, could Coca be a nice ad this week? You can pick him up, but you don't have to. Chris Vila in the building, bro. I'm right down the road from you. I'm in Raleigh. Tom Go says trade Bucky for Henry. Yes, do that. Martin Cassie says thoughts on Rico. Rico Dowdle is a star this week. He's a star this week. It's that simple. Jay Moore says DK is on already. I have Jennings, Malik Washington, Slayton Coleman, and Austin top of the waivers. I will go with Juwan Jennings. Holy Inspiration says Pacheco averaging 5 yards a carry and only get the ball 12 times is wild. Alex says, would you do Jacobs plus Benson for Gibbs? Yeah, I would do Jacobs and Benson for Gibbs. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of lateral because you're getting Jacobs and Gibbs. I like Gibbs, but Jacobs got the backfield to himself. I would say no, man. Don't do that. I wouldn't do it unless it was Jacobs and another player outside of Benson that I thought really would help you. I think it's a lateral move. You just giving up Jacobs for Gibbs. You just trading players, like swapping players. I got JT. Oh, okay. I got JT, Kyron, Rice, St. Brown. I would keep Jacobs. So I struggle at my last spot, but I don't know about Jacobs. So I don't know what side of you is, and I'm just going to talk for each side. I don't see how you struggling at your last flex spot, but I would just keep Jacobs. If you are trying to get Gibbs, I don't think you need Gibbs. You got JT Kyron. I like the Gibbs side, but there's no way I would trade Gibbs for Jacobs and Benson. I just don't. I think I could get something better. If I were doing Jacobs and I'm trying to think of a while. And T. Higgins, yeah. But I'm not doing Jacobs and Benson. Vama says, I started B. John and Ferguson. Yeah, and that was the right call. CK has good luck on waivers, fam, anytime. King Sirius says, with their schedule, I think the Ravens can truly still make the playoff. Yes, they can. Diego said, can I drop Dobbs? Yeah, you can drop Dobbs. Depends on who you're going to pick up. Don't just drop them just to drop them, but pick up somebody. Yeah, you can definitely drop Dobbs. I'm the CEO and attorney for Damage Entertainment, Inc. I'm also part-time dentist. Okay, CPS, I see you. Get that money. Chris Vita says, trade away Tyler Warren if I picked up Gaddison or start both. I would say just trade Warren and try to get a killer player for him. Jay Moore says, thoughts on P. Ryan, C. Brown, and Woody Marks. I'm starting Chase Brown. I'm starting Woody Marks. And I will pick up P. Ryan if I don't have a running back at all and I got to play somebody. Other than that, it's about Chase Brown. It's about Woody Marks. Those are good starts each week. Michael White says, Taylor bye week is 11. Should I start Charbonnet or at the RB2, Marks at the flex? It just depends. You're going to have to wait to see that, bro. Because Charbonnet could be balling out at that time. So we don't know. So we're going to have to wait till you get there. You already got the backups for that situation. So just observe the players and make that call then. B. Groen says, if Mooney's defense whole Atlanta offense was duds, right. Andrew says, Tyrone Tracy off the waivers? Yes. But lower your expectations for him. Nico or Adams? I'm going with Adams rest of the season. Jay Moore says, who would you have rest of the season, Henderson or Bashard Smith? Henderson. Jay Moore says, Panthers should give Rico 20 plus. How many for Chuba? Between 8 to 12. Kristen says, good evening, brother. Good evening. Michael White says, should I continue starting Ferguson even with CD back? Yes, sir. You should, Michael. Rico or Spears this week? I'm actually going, I'm going to say slightly Rico over Spears, but it's very, very close. Way too early start for this week. Need to. Warren, Dowdle, Bam, Marks, or Harvey. I'm going with Dowdle and Warren. I'm going with Dowdle and Warren. King Sirius says, with the schedule, I think the Ravens can... Yeah, we did that one. So good defense to pick up this week. The Ravens against the Miami or the Chargers against Tennessee. Andrew says, New York Giants backfield, Tyrone Tracy, but lower your expectation. He's just a flex player, low-end RB2. Diego says, can I start Gaddison in the flex? Yes, you can, if you have to. And Big Sarge says, hello, bro. I need a 2 running backs. All my running backs are hurt. 2 running backs, I would say Tyrone Tracy and Tajay Spears. Tyrone Tracy, Tajay Spears, or Kareem Hunt. Those are 3 guys, or Ollie Gordon. I say my favorite one is Tajay Spears, then Kareem Hunt. Those are my favorite guys to score. Sports Ops TD 100. I'm using Kansas City defense, but this week will be a tough one against Buffalo. I like the Chargers or Los Angeles Rams if the Los Angeles Rams would keep him all season. Yes, would you keep him all season? Yes, I would. Go look up their matchups. I haven't looked at the matchups. The only team that I've been looking at the matchups is Kansas City. They got Tennessee in the playoffs. But go look at their schedule. It's all about the schedule, bro. If they got a couple really big weeks for you for like Tennessee or Miami and you like that, then yeah, I'll hold on to them. Jake Green says, buys and injuries this week, DK or Butte. I would go with Butte is volatile because there's a lot of mouse, but he's been on fire, so I'm going to go with Butte. He said, okay, thanks, sir. Jay Moore said, do you think Chuba messed up the chemistry or Dalton just looked awful? I think it's a small percentage of Chuba, but I think mainly it was Dalton. It was mainly Dalton. All right, guys. Well, listen, I'm going to get ready to get out of here. I got to get to the house. Y'all be safe. Peace. Dill DeVoe said, you know your homie. Dill going to keep it real. Yes, sir, bruh. He says, been together 10 years since high school. Okay, that's what's up, bruh. I like that. That tells me what type of man you is. Let me tell you, I'm telling you. Look, listen, Dill, I think I'm a little bit older than you. When you doing big business, I want to meet your wife. And I'm not talking about nothing weird. I want to meet your girlfriend because if you can hold a relationship with a woman for 10 years, people will tell you that men that's been married for 10 years, 5 years, 7 years, 20 years, that shows me that I can do business with you because you know how to keep stuff going, even if it ain't going in your favor. Because every man know sometimes you have to give up your pride and all that just to keep the house together. So, brother, okay, I see you, deal. I see you. Chris Cofield says, TD, what's up, Spears or Zach? I'm going with Spears. Thomas Dotson says, so you like Bill over Spears long term? No, I don't want to drop Bill because I think once Jaden Daniels comes back, Bill could be playing really well. Spears, I think Spears is going to be good for the rest of the season, no matter who his quarterback is, no matter who, Tony Pollard, no matter the offensive line, none of that. So I would put Spears, I guess, a little bit over Bill, but I'm not dropping no Bill. I think they different, two different things, two different entities. I'm not dropping no Bill. I'm not putting them on the waivers. It's not enough good running backs out there. Now, if I was picking up Tyrone Tracy, I still don't like it. But if you needed to, and now, why would you make that move? Because you already got a running back, and they're not on a bye week. So no, I'm not dropping Bill. King Series says, you think Fields remains the starter? Yes. After that game, he will be the starter, but I don't know how he's going to do it. I'm not going to him. If he played good for 3 games, I would change my whole trajectory on him, and then I would say he's a top 12, top 5 starter. But I got to see 3 consistent games. Not big games, just consistent games, like between 18 and 20 points, and he not doing nothing crazy, then I'll change it over. But right now, you want to stash him, you can stash him, but I'm not putting him in my starting lineup. Gary Wilson should be back after the team's week 9 bye, and that'll help. It will. But I need to see Fields what he's going to do for 3 weeks to get a trend. All right, guys, y'all be safe. See y'all later. Peace.